All right, everybody. Everybody's happy to be back together again. Welcome back. 2026-2027 school year. Tonight we are at our August 17th regularly scheduled board meeting, 5 p.m. Wanted to call the meeting to order and establish our quorum. We have Garrett over there. Garrett Wilson. We have Sarah Falkenberry, Rich Senna, myself, Courtney Darter Bruce, Dr. Kristen Kraft, Dallas Pipes, Christy Smith, and Carlin Fryer. We will go into closed session to discuss the following items. A, pursuant to Texas Government Code 551.074, deliberation regarding matters related to employment, appointments, resignations, terminations, retirements, and reassignments. B, pursuant to Texas Government Code 551.0821, deliberation of personally identifiable information about a public school student. C, pursuant to Texas Government Code 551.072, discussion of purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real estate property. D, pursuant to Section 551.071 of the Texas Government Code, consultation with legal counsel concerning legal issues related to an insurance claim. E, pursuant to Section 551.071 of the Texas Government Code, consultation with legal counsel concerning legal issues related to pending litigation in the matter styled MH3 Contractors, LLC versus Tegrity Contractors, Inc., Bernie Independent School District, United State Fire Insurance Company, Bradley Gibson, Patricia Roulette, and Roger Roulette, individually, cause number 26-388 in the District Court 451st Judicial District, Kendall County, Texas. E, pursuant to Texas Government Code 551.071 and 551.074, private consultation with board's attorney and discussion of board member roles and responsibility. So at this time, at 5:03 p.m., we will go to closed session. Thank you. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Thank you so much for your patience and for joining us tonight. Lots of smiles on the front row over here. So welcome back to 2026-2027 school year. We are excited to start the year with all of you, but we are just coming back from closed session, and it is 6:35, so we're reconvening an open session. Wanted to reestablish quorum. We have 100% of our trustees back, so we are ready to move forward in open session. Miss Yvette?
Good evening, everyone. If you can please rise and join our students from Viola Wilson Elementary as they lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance and the Texas Pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Please remain standing for a moment of silence and prayer. Thank you, and please be seated. Madam President and trustees, our students from Viola Wilson Elementary have some great questions for you this evening.
Okay. Hello, my name is Doug, and I'm in 5th grade. So I would like to ask, what sorts of projects, programs, and resources are coming to our elementaries that we can be looking forward to this year?
Y'all want to take it?
Okay, that's a really great question. A thing that's probably very popular with students is the amount of recess, I believe, has been doubled, correct, Dr. Kraft?
I would have to look for help, but it will be 30 minutes.
It's
30
10
minutes.
additional minutes. Part of the
Okay.
shack committee, where's Krista? 10 additional minutes, yes. Recess is longer is what we're saying.
Is that something that you find pleasing?
I would say yes.
Doug.
So something else you have excited to look forward is we expanded our Spanish immersion to grades 3 at Cibolo Creek Elementary. So that's exciting for the district.
All right.
He's taking
You want-
notes.
you
I'm gonna
want-
get him a
you want
notebook.
more, Douglas?
Is there something new and exciting that you would like to add to your elementary school?
So, one of my friends, he goes to a different school, but it's Project Lead the Way, and it's a program for students to work on leadership, and it also works on robotics.
That's a great idea.
And Doug, we do have Project Lead the Way in our elementary school, so you may want to talk to your principal about it. And it's actually expanding down to 2nd grade. We're going backwards. So taking Project Lead the Way down into 2nd grade to foster robotics and engineering and STEM.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Hello, my name is Bryn Thompson. I'm in 5th grade and I'm a vice president of Spirit. What is the board's biggest goal for our district this school year, and how can elementary students help make it happen?
All right, I will take this one. So, as the board, one of our jobs is to set policy. And with our students, y'all get to explore and run with the new things that we get to add. You get to be the ones that make the vision come to life. And so it's exciting to be a part of like making decisions and implementing new things in our district and having amazing teachers and like an amazing team that's creative. But y'all are the ones that make it just happen and come to life. So we always want our students to feel empowered, and that's one of our big goals is where our students, they come to school and they think like, what do I want to do? What do I want to be? So our CTE programs, that's a big thing that you get to be a part of as you get older, and just being a part of that. And what do you want to dream about, and what do you want to do in your future? So a big goal of ours is to increase opportunities for students and for y'all to run with it. Anything else?
Nope.
Thank you. That was a great question.
Welcome. Hello, my name is Alyssa Luna, and I am the president of the Student Council for this year. My question for you tonight is, as community leaders yourselves, what is one piece of advice you have for us as we start our student council journey this year?
I think my biggest advice is listening to
Okay.
what your fellow classmates, other students, what's important to them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what helps make you be a good leader, is not telling and not saying this is what I want to do. It's what do you want me to do? What is it that you need done? So that would be my biggest advice, is listening.
Okay, thank you.
I think that's very good advice. And consult and collaborate. That's another way of saying you're listening. You've got a great team there, and ask questions and listen and collaborate. Because when you've got teamwork, there's that cliche that says there's no letter I in the word team.
Yes.
It's true. So think big and have dreams.
Of course.
Don't limit yourself just because it hasn't been done before. It doesn't mean it can't be done. You know?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So
I always think it's good to lead with kindness. When you lead with kindness, it creates trust. And so what Ms. Falkenberry was talking about listening, sometimes I think that's a characteristic of the greatest leaders, because they're not busy just shouting out commands, but they want to know what you want, what you need. And
Yes.
so really just partnering up. And I can actually see that in all of you that have spoken so far. Like, y'all are leaders on your campus. So part of leading is looking around and seeing, like, you know, that student doesn't have a friend. and that person seems isolated. So when I say lead with kindness, y'all set the example on your campus. So let that make you feel empowered tonight, that you need to go and just be a friend to those that need a friend. So lead with kindness and be good listeners.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
I got 3 for you. So first was be fast to hear and
Yes.
slow to speak.
Okay.
Surround yourself with the people you want to be. So I think that's important, like right here. I mean, if you want to be a better leader, surround yourself with better leaders. And then I guess kind of well, I had 3 and I kind of forgot them. So I think the most important one is I'm really old. Compared to you, I'm very ancient. So I want to know what new leaders are doing to be good leaders, because I know what I've experienced, but I think it's really important for us to learn what you've experienced.
Okay.
So what do you got for me?
Okay, so something that I've experienced being on student council is that we have to lift each other up. We have to just build kindness around each other, which means just leading people to do the right thing and to encourage others to also do the right thing, but also be just always patient with others and including.
It's great, Alyssa. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Madam President, I think we have a few future school board members.
They're great orators, too.
Hello, my name is Abigail, and I am Vice President of Service. My question for you guys today is, what made each of you decide to become leaders on the school board, and what do you enjoy most about your role?
I'll take this one. So, Abigail, I actually graduated from Bernie High School a long time ago. Coach Leach was still here, but but I had a great opportunity to grow up through the public school system, and so my decision to run for school board is to help ensure that students just like you have the same and actually a lot better opportunities to learn in our schools today as I did many years ago. And so that's what we strive to do. And so what do I think is what do I enjoy most about this is watching students achieve high and become high performers. And fortunately for Bernie ISD, our board has selected a great superintendent who has staff in place, and we have the best teachers in the state that help you grow, and your success is because of you and what they can instill in you. That's what I like to see.
And I would add, when it comes, what do we enjoy most? Visiting schools and seeing the progress, as Mr. Fryer mentioned. I think we would all enjoy coming to one of your student council meetings to see what you guys come up with. So if you ever want to invite us, I think we'd be interested in attending.
And I want to also point out, too, you hear the good ratings that Bernie ISD is receiving and all the good data points. Well, that is great. That's amazing. It's something that we celebrate and we're thankful for. But there are people behind those numbers. And so we get the opportunity and blessing to go on those campuses and meet these teachers and do life with these principals and all the administrators and our teams that work so hard to provide opportunities and then see our students really be successful. So it's a joy really to be on campus, as Mr. Senna was saying. But I also grew up in the Bernie schools, and I didn't really appreciate it as much as I should have. I didn't understand how special of a place it is. So I want to challenge y'all to mark my words, to appreciate every teacher, principal, any opportunity that you get in Bernie ISD, because one day you'll get old like us, and you will be able to think back of how special, hopefully, your time is at Bernie ISD, and you'll be so grateful for it. So I think it's a really special place, and we're so thankful for our students.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hello, my name is Sabine Reimers, and my position on the student council is secretary. What is something brand new happening in our school districts this year that wasn't here last year?
It's a good question. Want to take it?
Sure. One thing that I've been super excited about kicking off, and we kicked it off this year, is we have a new outdoor PE class. So when you get to high school, it's for grades 9 through 12, and it has so many fun activities like hiking and archery and outdoor cooking. And we saw a picture this last week, and they were at the Aquatics Learning Center. So I always love it when we get to add something that our students really enjoy and that they want to be a part of. So really, really excited to see how that PE class takes off.
That sounds great.
Thank you. I think so too.
I think something brand new that we are adding this year that I think is really awesome is we accepted the challenge to become a district of lifesavers. So, and it's with the American Heart Association. So we're teaching like healthy first aid, CPR, the bleed, like stop a bleed. So we're educating our students. So both my kids are 8th grade and 10th grade. I think are both CPR certified now. So I think that's really something as a district, that's a life skill you can take everywhere with you. So I'm really excited that our district's doing that.
That's good.
And one other thought, y'all are at Viola Wilson, so you feed into Middle School South, and we're renovating the fine arts wing of that school this year. So we're very excited about that.
And also, since y'all are leaders, I want y'all to spread the word, because y'all may have some friends that maybe don't have a nice pair of shoes to wear to school, or maybe some new clothes that fit, or a backpack, or things that they really need. So if y'all can be the eyes and ears on your campuses, something new that we have this year is the Care and Share Center. It's amazing. And Ms. Pomeroy and her team have been working so hard on this project with Ms. Bautista, and it is a great place. They have got all kinds of sizes of shoes, of clothes. You will be so impressed. But there are students in our district that do not have the things that they need. And we care about every classmate, every student. So please spread the word if you have a classmate, friend in need. And then also next to that, it's the College and Career Center. So there are a lot of things going on this year, and we're so proud of our school district to provide opportunities for our students. So thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Yes, thank y'all.
Hello, my name is Ava Rubio, and I am one of the 3 vice presidents at Viola Elementary, and I have a question for y'all today. If you could go back to elementary school for one day at the start of a new school year, what class or activity would you be most excited about?
I can take this one. So when I was your age, I did not like science. Do you guys like science? Show of hands. No? Okay, Doug likes science. Excellent. Okay. I did not like science. And then when I got later on into high school and college, and I started to take some of the more advanced classes and stuff and actually learn how it's showing you how the universe works, right? And it's an incredible thing, actually, the amount of knowledge that we have in the 21st century that just 100 years ago people didn't have. I mean, we're literally looking at some incredible stuff that for generations people had no idea how it worked. And now we do because of science. We can describe the universe and how it functions, you know? And so that's something I would be really excited about in my first day. I would be sitting in the front row in every science class having a good time. So what are you most excited about for the first day of school?
I was most excited about math to see what challenges I would face and what other new things I could learn.
Good.
Great.
Excellent.
I normally answer this question with either PE or lunch, because that was probably my favorite subject. But back in my day, going back to the first day, obviously it was uphill both ways and barefoot. But it was probably be homeroom or something where I was able to introduce myself and get to know my fellow students, because these subjects are great. History was my favorite subject at your age. I love history. I still love history. But getting to know my fellow classmates better, and this is the opportunity the first couple weeks of school, you getting to make new friends, getting to just know everyone is so, so important. I think that's probably going to be the most important thing you take away from elementary school.
Yes, sir.
And y'all are the leaders on campus, so everybody's eyes are on y'all.
To expand on what Mr. Pipe said too, what you have in your elementary schools that we didn't have years ago are the collaborative learning centers. So the new schools have, in your libraries, the ability to intermingle in hallways and things like that. And then the legacy campuses, we redid all those libraries. So, you have the ability to get out of your classroom and be able to be, working with others, and instead of just being inside those doors all day long.
Well, thank you all so much for coming to join us tonight and for your wonderful questions. Really appreciate it.
At this time, I'd like to invite Madam President, our trustees, and Dr. Kraft to join me on the floor for our commendations. We're very excited to celebrate several outstanding students and staff this evening. We love for all of you to stay until the end so they get that Bernie love and support. Alrighty, for our first commendation, we proudly recognize Catherine Garver from Champion High School. She was named as a First Leadership Award finalist in the World of Robotics National Competition. She represented the Bernie community on a global stage as she competed alongside top students from more than 60 countries in front of 50,000 attendees. Catherine, thank you for showcasing exceptional achievement in robotics. We are incredibly proud of you. Let's give her a big round of applause. For our second commendation, congratulations to the Bernie champion FFA Vet Med team for competing in the Ag Veterinarian Science State Career Development Event Contest. This opportunity to compete at state shows your discipline and determination to compete among the best. Congratulations on all this well-deserved achievement. Let's give them a round of applause. We proudly commend Elsie Sheehan from Champion High School for competing in the Ag Soil Stewardship STE State Contest. She competed against top students across the state. We're so proud of you. Congratulations on this outstanding achievement. Let's give her a round of applause.
Great, thank you so much.
Next up, we're excited to celebrate our Champion High School 5A state medalist for UIL academics. Your hard work and discipline to place within the top 6 on the state level is remarkable. Congratulations on all of your achievements. Let's give them a round of applause.
Great job, guys. Y'all.
Congratulations to Lauren Winslow and Gavin Peralta from Champion High School, who auditioned and were selected to perform on the main stage at the Josie Awards ceremony. The Josie Awards are the highest musical theater awards in our region. This is the first time our Champion High School students have been selected to perform at this event. Congrats. Let's give them a round of applause.
Thank you. Congrats.
Next up, the Texas Association of School Resource Officers named Bernie ISD Safety and Security Team its Agency of the Year. This is a statewide award recognizing an SRO team. They demonstrate exceptional leadership and a commitment to safety at all of our campuses. Let's give them a round of applause.
Thank you so much for all you do.
You're
Sorry.
welcome, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Right here?
Yes.
Bernie ISD has been recognized as a Texas Way District of Distinction for the second year in a row. This recognition celebrates the district's commitment to providing students with meaningful opportunities to learn, grow, and succeed. Let's give them a big round of applause.
Front center.
We are thrilled to announce that 3 students from Bernie ISD have been selected as 2026 National Math Finalists. This is a tremendous accomplishment. Out of more than 8,000 applicants, these elementary students stood out and were selected as finalists. These students are from Cibolo Creek, Viola Wilson, and Fair Oaks Ranch Elementary. We are so proud of you. Let's give them a big round of applause. And they're also coordinated with those black and white outfits.
We are so proud of you. Congratulations.
All right, ladies, y'all can leave this.
Let's give them one more round of applause. We're so excited to share that Bernie ISD has once again been named as one of the best communities for music education. This is the 8th year these amazing music teachers have been recognized. Thank you for your hard work and dedication with your students. This is a well-deserved national recognition. Let's give them a round of applause. At this time, we'd like to welcome representatives from Brown & Brown Insurance to present a very big check to Bernie ISD.
All right. Well, good evening, Dr. Kraft, trustees. So I'm Frank Castellano with Brown & Brown. This is Marion Harlos, one of our teammates at Brown & Brown Insurance. So we're here on behalf of Brown & Brown and Texas Mutual, which is our workers' compensation partner. And this is your 2026 workers' compensation dividend in the amount of $34,401.84. Now, this is driven off of the hard work of the district, Jill and your team, Natalie, and all the safety measures and protocols that go into the district to keep an employee safe. So it's very exciting, the largest check we've seen, so that's excellent that we're able to kind of give that back to the district. In addition, the district did apply for a safety grant, and while it's about $1,500, the district was awarded that safety grant, and I know that those dollars are going to be reinforced back into the district for some safety materials and so forth. So congratulations. You know, it's the hard work that's done by the district to keep employees safe that drives these type of dividends back to the district. So congratulations. Yeah, you bet. We hope to double it.
Yeah. Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
At this time, we are proud to recognize our central office head custodian, Frank Aldaco, all right, there he is, for exemplifying Bernie ISD core values in action, respectful relationships, and commitment to service. We'd like to welcome up Executive Director of Operations, Ramiro Guerrero, who will share a few words about him.
Tonight, we are proud to recognize Frank Aldaco for exemplifying Bernie ISD's core values through his daily actions and service to our district. Frank is known as having a positive attitude, a strong work ethic, and his willingness to help whenever needed. He consistently goes above and beyond to support our staff and visitors, always taking pride in his work in helping to create a welcoming environment at central office. While Frank embodies all four of the core values, two stand out in particular: respectful relationships and commitment to service. Through his kindness, professionalism, and genuine care for others, Frank builds a strong relationship with everyone he encounters. He treats every person with respect and approaches every task with a servant's heart. His commitment to service was especially evident during the recent flooding event. Frank played a vital role in preparing facilities to support displaced residents, helping set up spaces for evacuees, and ensuring everything was ready to meet the needs of our community. His willingness to step up during a time of need reflects the very best in Bernie ISD. Frank's dedication, character, and service make him highly deserving of this recognition. Please join us in recognizing and congratulating Frank Aldaco as a BISD Core Values in Action recipient.
Let's give him one more huge round of applause. Now I'd like to invite a few of our special guests to join us in recognizing our Bernie ISD School Board.
Thank you. Okay, trustees, my name is Jeff Goldhorn. I'm Executive Director at ESC 20 in San Antonio. And Dr. Kraft, I'm here on behalf of the Service Center. I've got two of my colleagues here, Michael Derry, Dan Drummond Eslack, who I think has spent some time with some of you in board training over the years. And so we're just beyond excited that not only are you the Region 20 School Board of the Year, but you're also a top 5 honor board for the whole state of Texas, which is amazing. Applause there, yes. So if I could just read a little bit about what that means and then what will happen next for you, okay? So on behalf of ESC 20, I extend our warmest congratulations to the Bernie ISD Board of Trustees on being selected as ESC 2026 School Board of the Year. Your application highlights exemplary governance, visionary leadership, and a deep commitment to student success. Bernie ISD's track record of academic excellence is truly outstanding, having maintained an A rating for 6 consecutive years, a distinction held by only 31 districts across the state of Texas, alongside an impressive 99% graduation rate and a 95% CCMR rating. Your leadership in fiscal stewardship and advocacy is equally commendable. By courageously calling and passing the November 2025 Vader, you dedicated over 80% of revenue directly to competitive teacher pay. This accomplishment, paired with 15 consecutive years of superior first ratings and bringing 31 of 32 bond 2022 projects in under budget and ahead of schedule, reflects exceptional management and community trust. Furthermore, your dedication to innovative student pathways continues to create transformative opportunities through expanded P-TECH and CTE programs in cybersecurity and health sciences. Through these initiatives and the planned transformation of Bernie Middle School North into a dedicated CTE hub, you are positioning more than 20% of future graduates to earn an associate's degree prior to high school graduation. Above all, your unified team of 8 governance model exemplifies true servant leadership, many of the things those kids were talking about today, I see in all of you. True servant leadership, continuous learning, and active legislative advocacy at the state capitol alongside Superintendent Dr. Kristen Kraft. We are thrilled to have Bernie ISD represent Region 20 at the state level TASA School Board of the Year competition. Knowing the integrity, collaborative spirit, and dedication you bring to public education, we're confident you will represent our region with distinction. So again, thank you to each of you for your service to the students, the staff, and the Bernie community. So what will happen at TASA TASB in October is the 5 honor boards that are finalists will be interviewed by a group of panelists, and then we'll determine if you all actually move on to win the state level competition. But regardless, we're super proud of you and excited to have you in the region. Each of you has a yard sign that you can proudly display in the front yard. We've got a big old banner right here that I know Dr. Kraft will want to display somewhere here. We've got an award here for a trophy case here. Dr. Kraft, I'll leave that with you. And then each of you has a padfolio with a copy of that letter in it as well, okay? So again, congratulations.
Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Yeah, great letter. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
So great.
Congratulations. You want me over by Dr. Kraft? No, you're good. Awesome.
Thank y'all.
All right, this concludes our commendations for this evening. Madam President, trustees, and Dr. Kraft, if you would please make your way back behind the dais, and you can give everyone one more last round of applause. Thank you. Wow.
Thank you so much. Miss Yvette Reyna, will you please lead us with the core values in action?
Well, we took care of that one, but we're going to head right into tonight's Bernie Education Foundation Wow Moment, which takes us to Bernie High School, home of the Greyhounds. Thanks to a BEF grant, students are learning about biotechnology. Let's check out the video.
Hi, my name is Owen Myers.
And I'm Renee Gallegos.
And welcome to Bernie High School. Today's Wow Moment will be in Miss High's classroom where the students will be learning about biotechnology.
So I received from BEF a grant for over $11,000 to help buy several pieces of biotechnology equipment for Bernie High School. We were able to purchase PCR machines, electrophoresis chambers, and lots of micropipettes.
I like to put it into like physical learning, what I was learning about in my notes, like being able to see the actual cause and effect relationship. Like, oh, I remember like writing that down, but now I'm actually seeing the glowing orbs of bacteria right in front of me. And it's nothing that I really never been able to do before in a high school science class. And so it was really interesting, and I feel like it helped me learn a lot better than regular just note taking.
I just want to give a big thank you for all the generous donors to BEF that helped make activities and labs like this possible. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for supporting every student, every teacher, and every school in Bernie ISD.
Thank you.
Thank you to BEF and to Miss Yvette Reyna. So grateful. Next, we'll move into visitor comments and testimonials. And tonight, we did not have anyone sign up. So we will move along to consider action, if any, regarding items discussed in closed session. Can someone please make a motion?
Courtney, you want to talk about this?
No, we're going to talk through it consent.
Madam President, I move the Board of Trustees approve the personnel report as discussed in closed session.
We have a motion by Carlin Fryer, a second by Rich Senna. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. All right, motion carries. Next up on consent agenda, to see if anyone had anything that we'd like to discuss before we go to approving?
Madam President, if I could speak just a couple of seconds. I don't want to pull anything off the consent agenda, but I did want to talk about the quarterly investment report. As we start this new school year, we have new trustees represented on the Finance Committee. I've rolled off of that. I've really enjoyed my time in being on that committee over the years. But Mr. Scott, you and your team are to be commended. This was probably the most comprehensive quarterly finance report that I've seen in probably my time on the board. I really appreciated the historical data, especially the glossary of terms. I think when having been on the committee for a number of years, you get very, I'm a finance guy anyway, and so comfortable with terms and things like that. But as you have new members, the educational part of that is impressive. And so it did not go unnoticed that you guys, your team put a tremendous amount of work into that report. So kudos to you and that team. The other question that I had really had to do with planning in the purchasing report. Obviously the school district starts, the school year starts in August. We have payroll that we're paying that begins, with the current contract year. But a lot of times state funding, and we know we don't get tax revenue till October. I noticed the amounts that we're paying to Region 20 are pretty significant, a couple $100,000 for the different services. How does the timing on that work and flexibility and things and payments with Region 20?
The commitments that we're talking about today on this report are normally paid out in November.
Okay. So plenty of time for tax collections to come in, state funding to come in for what's going to be local. Okay. Okay. Good. It's good that they work with us well like that.
Any other discussion on any of our items? Consent agenda. I move that we remove, we pull item P, consider approval of board policy FNA local, to be able to discuss and consider at a later date.
I'll second that.
Yeah.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. All right, motion carries. So I need to have someone approve consent agenda for items A through O. We're going to pull P from consent agenda. So for items A through O.
I move to approve consent agendas A through O.
Second. We have a motion by Dallas, a second by Christie. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. All right, motion carries. Next up, we have governance. We have board member reports, and who would like to start?
I can go. Oh, unless you want to go. Okay. What I would second what Carlin was saying. I'm still on the finance committee, and it was great. It was a great meeting, one of the best we've had. There was a lot of stuff on there that I think I didn't realize that I needed to be more aware of in terms and that sort of thing. So that was good to get some extra training, and I'm excited to, keep doing that in the upcoming meetings. But so part of that was that Mr. Scott, we took a quiz, School Finance 101 survey, to kind of see where we were at with school finance and how much some of us knew about it. And he reviewed the results of that with us. It was used to assess the members' familiarity with key school finance concepts and identify priorities for future Finance 101 training. And so that's going to be used, like I was talking about, in upcoming meetings. Mrs. Baumgartner reviewed the year-end budget to actual update and discussed factors contributing to the district's projected budget surplus, including favorable revenues and conservative spending. And one of the things on there that there was a lot of good information on there. We've saved just in every bucket, in every GL code, there was substantial savings, especially on some of the administrative stuff that Dr. Crafts worked so hard and our central officers worked so hard to whittle down some of those expenditures. And it's it's definitely made a big impact, and you can now see it at the end of the year here in our fund balance. It showed up in the bank account. So I think that was very impressive to see, and it's nice to see our fund balance being what it is, and that we had a good result there. Quarterly investment report. The portfolio remains in compliance with the Public Funds Investment Act and board policy while continuing to prioritize safety, liquidity, and yield. We have, the yields down as you would expect from last year at this time, but it's still doing very well. Kendall County Appraisal District budget update. Mr. Scott shared the Kendall CAD proposed budget update and shared that district leadership recently met with their representatives to encourage greater communication and transparency during their budget development process, and so we reviewed their proposed budget. Mr. Scott also discussed the development of a BISD Informed Taxpayers informational series, which is really exciting. It's designed to increase community understanding of school finance and district operations. The committee reviewed potential presentation topics and invited the committee to additional topics of interest. So we discussed things that would be good to have in a training like that. And I think that'll be really good because, the challenge that we always face is it's some of this stuff, we're still receiving training in finance committee for a lot of these topics and how school funding works. And so when you go out in the community and try to explain to them or help them understand how some of it works, there's just such an uphill battle because some of this stuff is so complex. It's super complex. So I think this will be a good thing to try to help community members that want to dig in and actually understand how the numbers work and how schools are funded. I think that'll be really good. We also talked about the recapture process and discussed the factors that determine recapture status along with the district's annual notification from TEA. And so that was the nuts and bolts of it, and appreciate the good committee meeting. Yeah.
Move forward with the facility committee meeting. We talked about so this committee meeting happened on June 17th. So some of these projects have been completed since this meeting. But in the meeting, we had the Corley Road update. The developer completed Corley Road. Remaining Viola Wilson funds will be used to complete the connection to Viola Wilson this summer. And then transportation was going to evaluate potential use for bus entrance and evacuation and roads usable for evacuation in current condition and traffic constraints noted at Scenic Loop. So that was going to happen over the summer. BHS wall, we reviewed the repair would have been $11,000 versus a replacement which would have been $100,000. So replacement would include an electronic sign requiring fiber installation to main office and relocation of existing elements. Students will assist in non-structural elements such as painting of signage, but construction work limited to the professionals, and leadership to decide direction so that work can be completed this summer and community can be updated, which the work has already started. They've decided to review the repair of the $11,000, and they brought in a contractor that's a Bernie grad, and then they do still intend to have students participate in the non-structural elements. Voss Middle School development, the developer progress includes road completion by year end and request for grading and utility easement. District is working on negotiations to tie the road completion and fair market value. Communication plan with tech stock on school zone and speed reduction at Fours, which I do know she left. Some of the speed limit has been reduced at Fours to 50 miles an hour, and at Voss Middle School that we're looking there as well. Potential to preserve $100 million in secondary access funds with the developer that we're working on that secondary access. Maintenance and custodial summer work, they were busy all summer cleaning, waxing, and doing paint touch-ups. Then we also had stadium deficiencies to be addressed before school started. Hopefully they were, Mr. Romero. Evaluating vendor options for long-term condition assessments. And then in discussion with city officials regarding rail safety and ADA compliance concerns. And then the last thing we did was the Bond 2022 website. We've updated the website to show what facilities look like and how the money's been spent. So you can actually have a visual of when we say we completed a library, you can see what it was and where it is now. Additional, the Ag Barn. They replaced the gutters, storm drainage issues. Under reviewing the heavy rainfalls, we were able to see what happened there. They put in concrete improvements completed with students' involvement. Additional electrical, plumbing, and water access was installed, and expansion of the animal pens. And we all got to go out and take a tour of the ag barn, and it's phenomenal, the small difference all that made to these students. Fair Oaks Ranch completed a fence project. And then at the Aquatic Learning Center, we still had 2 pending projects in June, the sound baffles and the leaderboard signage. And then we did have an issue with the lift station pump, but it was addressed under warranty. And then we were also able to implement some summer rental programs ongoing with district priority for school needs during the school year. The pool uses and the utility revenue impact will be reviewed. And then Curington roof issues are being evaluated with possible repairs being covered by warranty. Once again, this report happened in June, so some of these things have been resolved since then. And that's all I have.
Anyone else?
Yeah, our PTO presidents were able to attend convocation again this year. It was their 4th year. They always really enjoy just getting to kick off the school year with everyone else. They've been busy with back-to-school activities, and we have our first district-wide PTO presidents meeting on September 11th. BEF will be in attendance just to give an update and provide breakfast. So thank you, BEF.
Yeah, go ahead.
We do get some of our all-star golfers off the golf team to come in and hit for you if you need that, which I do need. BEF will start selling golf sponsorship later this week, so please, anyone who's interested in attending, that is a wonderful event. And BEF also had their retreat this summer and have some great things rolling out this next year.
Yeah, I'm going to give a legislative update. But before I do that, I want to kind of back up some of the comments that Carlin Fryer made about the Finance Committee. I too rolled off that committee and enjoyed spending several years on that, learning more about our finance and school finance. But one thing I think is worth bringing out, you mentioned, Carlin, the annual investment report. And people may not be aware of this, but we're one of only about 30 school districts in the state that gives people, homeowners, property owners, an early payment discount for paying their school property taxes in October as opposed to when they're due, which is January. And the reason we did that historically was that taxes are normally due in January. Well, years ago, we got very, very little in state aid because we were paying recapture Robin Hood money. So we would have needed to borrow money technically to meet payroll until the property tax revenue came in. So the board many years ago made the decision to offer the discount. So a lot of the money, about 70% of the property tax money, comes in October. Now, that saves our local taxpayers over $2.5 million in property taxes. But due to the wise investment that Mr. Scott works on, we generate about that much money, maybe a little bit more, in investment income. So our taxpayers benefit from saving 3%, and we're kind of kept whole. Now, interest rates are higher than they were 5 years ago, but nonetheless, and we'll see how they go. But that's a good position to be in. So I just want to say thank you for that stewardship of the taxpayer dollar. Legislation, Sarah and I left Bernie at about 6:15 this morning, drove up to Austin, and we met with Stephen Santoyo, who is the newly appointed committee director for the Senate Education Committee, which is chaired by Senator Donna Campbell, who's our state senator. And we basically wanted to get the lay of the land as to what priorities he envisioned the Senate Education Committee taking, and we wanted to see how closely the priorities that we've been tentatively working on mesh with the focal points of the Senate Education Committee. And it seems like there's a lot of crossover and a lot of synergy. We're working on that, and we're going to continue to work on it. We'll prepare it for September's meeting, present it to the board. We can discuss it, tweak it, what have you, but adopt it. And our goal is also to work with neighboring school districts, Comfort, Blanco, Kerrville, Comal, to build a Hill Country coalition to advocate, because there's strength in numbers, you know? So it was just a great meeting. So I don't know if you wanted to add some thoughts to that.
Yes, I really enjoyed going up there today. I think it's key the time of year that we're going up there. The Capitol was basically empty. We had their attention. So thank you, Rich, for facilitating that, to be able to sit down and actually talk. And they had questions for us. They wanted to hear what our concerns are, what we're hearing. So it really felt like a collaborative, not us telling them we need more money or them telling us you can't have any more money. It was really what's the best interest for our students at the end of the day. So I was very grateful to be a part of that, and very optimistic that we can all work together and find, you know, our legislative priorities, and hope to see them come to fruition.
Thank you for your advocacy. That makes for a long day on a board meeting night, but we appreciate your persistent pursuit of advocating.
It's good to make friends.
Relationships do matter. So on that note, let's move along to considering endorsement of candidate for the 2026 TASB Board of Directors. Rich Senna has some talking points, and would you please share those with us?
Sure. I've had the honor of being a director for Region 20 for the Texas Association of School Boards for the last couple of years. Last year, I just got reelected to a new 3-year term to that. And we meet quarterly, and I've had the pleasure and honor of working with Ginger Friesenhahn, who is a trustee in East Central ISD, who's been on the board the same amount of time that I've been. There are some really good people that have applied for position A, some good ones that I know, but I don't think anyone can match the energy and dedication and commitment that Ginger's brought, and the knowledge she's built up, the relationships she's built up. And I think she's a good friend to our district when we've needed help. So I would recommend that we endorse her. There are 4 other candidates. Northside, as a large district, gets an automatic placement on the board of directors. And Dr. Carol Harrell has served very well for the last 6 years. She's rolling off, and Carla Duran, who was the president of Northside's board last year, has been nominated by their board to take Dr. Harrell's place. So based on that, I would be happy to answer any questions, but I would move that we endorse Ginger Friesenhahn for Region 20 Position A and Carla Duran for Region 20 Position B for the TASB Board of Directors.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion by Rich Senna. We have a second by Carlin Fryer. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. All right, motion carries. Thank you, Rich.
Rich, thank you so much for serving all of those years and all of those extra travel days and miles, and you're always such a great advocate and mediator, so just want to say thank you.
My pleasure. You're very welcome. I like a good fight, you know. And we have to advocate, not fight. We got to advocate for public ed, you know.
Well, I'm glad you're on our team. Next, we're going to move into reports from our superintendent, Dr. Kristen Kraft.
All right, thank you. I want to welcome back our board and our community to a new school year. This is our first meeting. You know, you guys have had a little bit of a break, so get ready for an awesome school year. We will definitely keep you busy. As you know, we provide you regular enrollment updates, and so really pleased to share that today we gained 20 more students. We're up to 11,095 students, and we know that number will continue to inch up in the coming days. So we will keep you posted, and we're always monitoring against our projections. And just wanted to let you know, well, first of all, we are so proud of how the school year started, and a number of our principals and leaders are in the audience, and this has been a fantastic start to the school year. It has just been one of the best, and just heard really great reports from all of our leaders. And really, I want to say thank you to my team. Every Monday morning, we spend 2 to 3 hours together. And just so you know, after 4th of July, you know, the 4 days we close, after we come back, our team starts to report out every week on their back to school metrics. And so every executive leader is tracking what do they have to get ready for the start of school. And just know that the team has been laser focused to take care of any needs that are in the way so that we can make sure that school's opened in a successful way. And really proud to say that we have all of our teaching positions filled, and they've been filled for a while, and our principals have done a great job of hiring great folks to add to their teams. And I also want to recognize two incredible partners. Northwest Vista is our higher education partner, and as you saw from the pictures, we were able to hold our administrative conference at the Northwest Vista campus over by SeaWorld. They have a brand new meeting space, and we were the first ones to use it. And thanks to Larissa Flores and her team for making it all happen. It was a wonderful experience and great to have our team in such a beautiful location and very inspiring. And also want to thank our partners at Oak Hills Church for their generous donation of their facility for our convocation. And that was a wonderful morning, and we're so glad that you were there. And again, we're very fortunate that we had a number of elected officials in the audience from across the state that could also see and hear how amazing Bernie ISD is. I want to give a special thank you to our pre-K and kindergarten teachers. We had another summer of Jump Start, which is 2 weeks of getting a jump start in the school year, and parents are so appreciative of their little ones coming to campus early, just them, with a couple of the kindergarten teachers getting ready for the school year. So it was very much time well spent. And a couple other updates just to remind you that we will be convening 2 important groups this fall. We'll be convening a community group to examine the middle school boundaries, and you all submitted names, and so we're putting that committee together now. We'll be bringing a proposal to the board in late fall, and trustee liaisons are Carlin Fryer, Sarah Falkenberry, Courtney Daughter Bruce. And again, your role as a liaison is to observe the process, hear the conversation, and just, see how it all unfolds. And you will have a presentation that comes back to you later in the fall as we consider middle school boundaries. And then we will be convening an internal school team working group to really look at how do middle schoolers learn best. And we'll be bringing you an update throughout the fall. But that will be a committee, much like when we had our CTE programming committee. It was an internal committee. Comprised of the experts. This will be an internal committee with our middle school principals, and each of them will have a small team that will come together and really study the middle school experience. And as you know, one of my priorities is the success of our students served in special education. And so one of the first steps that we're going to take, Ms. Pomeroy, who oversees special ed directly, she and I are going to be meeting with individual parents. I asked every principal to give me one name of a parent served in who has a child in special education, and we'll be getting those meetings scheduled. And we want to listen and learn from our parents' experience as they have children in special education program. I'll be serving on a panel discussion on Thursday with the San Antonio Business Journal Kendall County Economic Summit held here in Bernie. And Dr. Bosley from Northwest Vista and Lance Pettigrew of Synergy will also be on the panel. So that'll be an exciting opportunity. And again, I just want to say thank you to this board. You guys put in a lot of hours, and you're on the phone with neighbors, community members, parents, fielding questions. And just tonight, I just hope you know how special it is that you're one of the top 5 boards in the state. So we're excited for your next step in the process in October. Congratulations again. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. We would love to hear your strategic plan. I think Carlin has
I was just gonna say one thing, Dr. Kraft, when you talked about what our enrollment number is today. We know that there are a small group of students who aren't with us right now because they happen to be in a baseball tournament. So hopefully everybody can see where the board is supporting the Southwest team today, and for the next week or so, we look forward to having them back in the classroom as champions. So
yes, thank you for sharing, and thanks for your support.
Yeah.
Were y'all curious, or did y'all put it together? Here's your sign.
Yes.
All right. Well, we are thankful for your servant leadership. Dr. Kraft is great at telling our story, and we're excited about your opportunity to speak on the panel coming up. And now we're excited to hear about this strategic plan update as well.
All right, so I'm going to roll into this quick update. Every year, as you know, we're led by our strategic plan. It informs our work at the highest level. It informs district priorities. It informs our teaching and learning work and really our entire senior staff. And you'll see references to the strategic plan and many documents throughout the year. You'll see campus improvement plans and their performance objectives. You'll see the district improvement plan and the performance objectives. And this is that core document. This was the strategic plan developed back in 2022, which really was a 5-year plan. So from 2023 to 2028, and every year we take a look at how are we progressing to these goals, and we're in a really good place. But we don't rest on our laurels. We want to develop SMART goals that align to these big overarching goals in student success, talent, fiscal responsibility, and engagement. And teaching and learning is our core business. That's our job, to make sure that we're producing strong, well-rounded students. This is our foundation that really lives in every presentation that Larissa's team does and trains on. There's training modules built for all of these components. It's very robust in how we build teaching and learning supports for all of our campuses, students and teachers. And when I think about the SMART goals for 26-27, here are just a few that the team will be reporting on. So increasing the number of core complete graduates, increasing the percentage of students earning industry-based certifications, increasing our percent of K-2 students reading at or above benchmark levels. And you can see all those percents there. The same thing to match the math performance, and also increasing the percent of students sustaining the master's level in reading and math. Then we're also doing our middle school schedule and how middle schoolers learn best. So you'll be getting updates on these SMART goals. When we look at talent, when Jill comes to the podium or members of her team, you're going to be hearing about our Grow Your Own initiative and building our teacher pipeline. You'll also be hearing about our university partners to help build the pipeline. You will also be hearing a lot about teacher incentive allotment. We have a steering committee that started last spring, and we are actively meeting. Jill leads that work, and you'll be hearing more updates on the teacher incentive allotment proposal, and it's an application that we have to be submitting to the state. We've had great success with our Aspiring Leader Academy, and many internal folks are moving up into leadership positions because we're investing in our team members here and making sure they get opportunities to grow and fill leadership positions within our school district. And then when we look at fiscal responsibility, you'll be hearing often from Mr. Scott or members of his team on capital replacement plans. Of course, we take you through a very robust series of workshops beginning in February when we meet twice a month to go through our budget process. You'll also be hearing more about our district-wide facility assessment that is going on right now. And then we'll be having our middle school boundary committee. So those are SMART goals related to fiscal responsibility. And then in the area of engagement, you'll be hearing updates from Ms. Pomeroy, Yvette Reyna, and Dr. Dominguez on different transition events that we're having. Again, I mentioned our special education parent meetings that Krista and I will start to be hosting. Yvette has done a lot of work with civic engagement opportunities. We're also transitioning as clubs and sports teams to parent square communication options, and then also continuing just the strategic work around our communications plan. Now, partnered with all of that, we have HB3 goals. Ms. Flores will take you through a plethora of data sessions. Every meeting, the first goal, student success, is on the agenda. Every meeting, that's our core business. So you will hear from Ms. Flores a lot, equal to Mr. Scott. And so again, the board has goals for early literacy, early numeracy, and CCMR. Now, when we get and dig into all these numbers, reports come at different times. So we'll have beginning of the year data, we'll have middle of the year data. Ms. Flores will be presenting some exciting news this afternoon with our preliminary STAR results. We've already met and exceeded some of these goals already that you see on the screen. And so then we'll have our taper report in January. And so there's going to be lots of data that you'll be able to be wrapping your head around throughout the year. And so in August, I do like to share, these are our goals, and this is the schedule that we will bring you updates at the board meeting. So again, every meeting, Ms. Flores will bring you a student success topic, and then you'll see talent, fiscal responsibility, and engagement alternating in the fall and the spring. And as you can see, it's coming up on 2028, so it won't be too long before we're going to have to start thinking about what does that engagement process look like to chart the next 5 years for the school district? Do you have any questions?
Looks great.
Thank you, ma'am.
No other further discussion. We'll look forward to hearing from Ms. Larissa Flores. She is our Chief Instructional Officer. We can't wait to hear your exciting news. We keep hearing that it's exciting. So do share. Thank you.
Good evening, Madam President, Dr. Kraft, and the best board in the state of Texas. Good evening. Tonight, I'm going to provide for you a very high-level look at our 25-26 assessment results as required by Texas Education Code, which includes our STAR assessments and TELPAS, which is the Texas English Language Proficiency Assessment System for our emergent bilingual students. From there, I'm going to transition to our A through F accountability results. I'll walk you through our district ratings and provide some context around how those ratings are calculated. As you know, the accountability system brings together multiple measures of student performance, growth, and college and career and military readiness. These are our Bernie ISD's long-term strategic goals, and tonight our focus is going to be on student success, ensuring that every learner achieves and grows. I'm going to begin with our state assessment results from the spring of 2026. But before reviewing the results, I want to briefly clarify STAR performance levels, approaches, meets, and master's grade level. The percentage of questions a student must answer correctly to reach each level varies by grade and assessment. For example, the cut points for third grade math are different from those of other grades or subjects. So the following charts that I will be presenting show the percentage of students at those different performance levels. The first data slide shows Bernie ISD end of course performance across all tested subjects at approaches, meets, and masters. The end of course exams are the required assessments for graduation. We saw strong gains in Algebra 1 and Biology while maintaining solid performance in U.S. history and English. The results will continue to focus on both areas of strength and opportunities for continued growth. This slide compares our EOC performance at the meets grade level standard to 2025, so a historical view. We saw particularly strong growth in two areas, with biology increasing by 5 percentage points and Algebra 1 increasing by 8 percentage points. These gains are encouraging and reflect meaningful progress in student performance at the meets grade level. This slide provides an overall look at STAR performance in grades 3 through 8. Students are assessed in math and reading in grades 3 through 8, science in grades 5 and 8, and social studies in grade 8. These results include both English and Spanish administrations at our elementary campuses and provide a district-wide view of student performance across the 3 levels. This slide compares 3 through 8 performance at the meets grade level standard compared to 2025. We did see a significant gain in science with a 10 percentage point increase, while performance in the other subject areas remained relatively consistent with the prior year. This slide brings together results from all tested areas from grade 3 through 11, and these are for students that are included in our accountability subset, which are those students enrolled with us on the last Friday in October, which the state calls snapshot date. Across all tests, 89% of our students met the passing standard, 72% performed at the meets grade level, and nearly 40% achieved master's grade level. This provides a very strong overall picture of student performance across the district and serves as an important foundation for understanding our accountability results. This slide shows meets grade level performance across all the tested grades and subjects compared to 2025. Again, you can see the strong gains in science, while performance across the other subject areas remained relatively stable. Overall, the results reflect both meaningful growth and consistency across the district. Now, this slide compares Bernie ISD performance at the meets grade level standard across all tested subjects with results from both the state and our region. It provides important context for how our students are performing relative to broader benchmarks and helps us identify areas where we are outperforming peers as well as areas where we have the opportunities for continued growth. Breaking our data down even further, this slide shows performance across all tested areas at approaches, meets, and masters for each of our ethnic student groups. The following slide provides the same view by student subpopulation, helping us examine performance more closely and identify where we are seeing strengths as well as opportunities for additional support. One interesting pattern in the data is the difference in performance between male and female students. Across all tested subjects, except for math, female students outperform their male counterparts. In math, however, male students demonstrate a higher percentage at the master's grade level standard. This is an important trend for us to continue watching as we look more closely at student performance across groups. Another state assessment that is noted in our accountability system is TELPAS, which is administered to our emergent bilingual students and measures progress in reading, writing, listening, and speaking from year to year. In 2026, the state changed how TELPAS progress is calculated, from progress in 2 or more language domains to a composite score comparison of all 4. Because of that change, we did anticipate lower progress rates across our campuses, and to account for this, the state did lower the target percentage. Under the new calculation, 1 high school, 2 middle schools, and 4 of our elementary campuses did meet the expected target. We had 1 middle school and 1 elementary that did not have enough emergent bilingual students to constitute enough tests to count for their accountability. So with that assessment data as our foundation, I'd like to transition to our A through F ratings. These ratings bring together multiple measures of student achievement, growth, and readiness. There are 3 domains within our state accountability system. Domain 1 is student achievement. For elementary and middle schools, this is based 100% on STAR performance. At the high school level, it is based on 40% STAR, 40% college career military readiness, and 20% graduation rate. Domain 2 is school progress, and it has 2 parts. Part A is academic growth, which measures year-to-year growth in reading and math, including accelerated learning for students who were not successful the previous year. Part B is relative performance. It looks at campus performance compared with schools serving similar percentages of economically disadvantaged students across the state. Domain 3 is closing the gaps, which is the federal component of the accountability system. It examines performance across our different student groups against established targets. For elementary and middle schools, measures include reading and math achievement, academic growth, English language proficiency through the TELPAS exam, and overall STAR success, whereas for our high school level, measures include reading and math achievement, graduation, CCMR, and English language proficiency. Together, these 3 domains provide the framework for determining our overall district and campus accountability ratings. Each campus does receive their own rating, but our district rating is calculated using proportional weighting, meaning that each campus contributes to the overall district rating based on its share of students 3 through 12 testing population. For Bernie ISD, our 2 high schools represent approximately 40% of the district rating. Our 3 middle schools contribute about 30%, and our 8 elementary schools collectively contribute the remaining 30%. This is an important context because campus size does matter. The larger the testing population, the greater that campus's impact is on the overall district rating. In addition to STAR performance, CCMR and graduation rates play a significant role in our district calculation, particularly because our high schools carry approximately 40%. It's important to know that these measures lag by 1 year, so our 2026 accountability system rating uses data from the class of 25. As you can see, we're very close to reaching our overall goal of 100% CCMR, while continuing to minimize the number of students who do not successfully complete high school. So I've also included our state and region 20 results for CCMR and graduation for your review and comparison. As a district, we have worked diligently to ensure that regardless of the path our students choose after graduation, college, career, military, or another pathway, they leave BISD prepared and ready for what comes next. So our district results are as follows. For Bernie ISD, we earned a 93 in Domain 1, student achievement, an 83 in Domain 2, school progress, both A and B, The higher of those two scores, which was Domain 1, accounts for 70% of the overall rating. We earned a 90 in Domain 3, closing the gaps, which accounts for the remaining 30. So together, these results gave BISD a 92, which is a A rating for 25, 26. Okay. And so you can check my math. 93 at 0.70, 90 at 0.30 gave us a 92.1, which in 2025, it was a 91.7. I will take the 0.4 tenths of a point as an increase, and great news. So it was a great celebration. We had 9 8A campuses and 4 B campuses total.
Larissa, did you see the celebration behind you?
I did not, and I did not.
Thank
you. Okay. Another component of the accountability system released by TA is distinction designation. So each campus is placed in a unique comparison group of 40 other campuses with similar demographics to theirs. Campuses that perform in the top quartile of their comparison group on designated measures can earn a distinction. These distinctions provide another way to recognize areas where our campuses demonstrate particularly strong performance compared to similar schools across the state. So for Bernie ISD, campuses earned a total of 21 distinctions, and these included 2 in English language arts, 2 in mathematics, 6 in science, 1 in academic growth, 6 in post-secondary readiness, and 4 in closing the gaps. These distinctions recognize and highlight some of the exceptional work happening at our campuses across the district.
Larissa, a couple of years ago, weren't we at like 7 or 8?
Yes, sir.
That's a big increase.
Mm-hmm.
I have to go back. The CCMR, I'm like, that
yes, sir.
is, when I was talking to Dr. Kraft and she was letting us know where that is, I mean, that's outstanding. I've had the opportunity to talk with other school board members, and we've been in classrooms where people stand up and they shout where their number is as a point of pride. And it's kind of, I mean, I've been there with Mr. Sinnon, we're kind of looking around like, wow, if we were that number, we would feel that as a failure. But you have, I mean, this is incredible. This speaks a lot to the principals, to the staff, to the parents. I mean, a 98, I was spending today explaining this to my wife of, okay, here's where we're at, here's where they're at. And it was just outstanding. I can't believe that number is really even accomplished. I'm impressed. So deeply impressed with that.
All glory and honor goes to those campus teams that really work hard throughout the year to make sure that every kid leaves us ready.
I know it's super individualized too, which says a lot about our district. I know that these teams, they go through each student one at a time, and they follow up and they follow up, and it's just, and it works. They're accounted, they have a certain level of accountability at that point for themselves. And I know we always hear that the bar keeps rising and rising with the accountability system. That happened again, I'm sure.
It's coming. I'm going to talk about it here in a minute. That's okay. So at our July administrative retreat, when I was able to share this great information with our principals, we discussed the importance of staying focused and setting clear goals for continued improvement on 3 key areas. One was STAR performance, our TELPAS growth, and of course our local measures, which tie into our strategic plan, including early childhood proficiency. So as we move into 26-27, our focus remains simple and consistent: growth for every student. We want to ensure that every student is moving forward, that we respond quickly when support is needed, and that no student is left behind. At the same time, we know significant change is coming. Beginning in the 27-28 school year, students will be assessed under a new state testing system, and the accountability expectations required to earn an A are becoming more rigorous. Our work is twofold: continue the momentum that we have built while preparing our system for what is coming ahead. We must continue to work with a sense of urgency, maximize every instructional minute that we have with our students, and invest deeply in the teacher learning and development. That means aligning our curriculum, instruction, assessment, intervention, and professional learning so our teachers and campuses are prepared well before these changes arrive. Ultimately, our focus remains the same: growth for every student every day, while building the capacity for our teachers and our system to meet increasingly rigorous expectations. So I would just want to conclude by tying this all back to our core values. We use accountability results to drive continuous growth for every student. The data helps us celebrate what is working. We identify where support is needed. We own our results and always look for ways to improve, and we respond with purpose. By using the results to strengthen teaching, support our educators, and improve outcomes, we keep student success at the center of our work. Thank you. I'll take any questions.
Larissa, I don't know that I have any questions. I'm just, sit here in awe. Convocation was, 2 weeks ago? And we talked about, all of the different departments that it takes to get our student performance increasing. And, I look in the audience, and Melanie Lee's back there, the first person that our students see is the bus driver in the morning, to safety and security. Mr. Davis is here, to campus principals that are here, teaching, learning staff, operations if we don't have, facilities that we can educate the kids in. But this is a team effort, and these results are outstanding. To see a 98 CCMR when our goal for 28 was to get to 95 is outstanding. To get to 95 by the end of August of next year. I want to say thank you, because the performance that and the dedication that you as educators and principals put into these students on an individual basis, as Ms. Schmidt said, thank you. This is what makes Bernie special. Yep.
I agree. I just want to echo that too. And just to make it even go a little bit deeper too, we get to see the fun, like going onto the Faber campus and seeing Mr. Ladiolis, like going through the tunnel and doing this, big introduction and celebration of, they did the jump start, or not the jump start, but the kindergarten where they're designating their teachers, and they did a trial week, and they're all together. But to see the joy that the team has, I mean, that's just a little part of your job. You get to celebrate. That's icing on top. But all the work that all of our administrators do on the back end and your team. But I do love, how our team takes time to celebrate the victories and get their boots on the ground with the teams that they have on their campuses. So it makes it just such a personal touch. But all the data that you've presented, we love seeing the smiles behind it. And we know that there's a lot of hard work and elbow grease to get to those numbers, but we do appreciate it and love to see the cultures on our campus. I feel like they're thriving, our students are thriving, but it's not lost on us, all the hard work that y'all are putting in. So thank you so much.
A lot of hard work. And the thing that always amazes me when I'm visiting a school and I'll talk to a principal, and I might ask about a kid who's in my Sunday school class, because I've got kids from 5 or 6 different elementary schools. There's some kids from a private school, and trust me, they don't have anything on kids. But they always know, whether it's about a kid that I mentor or just any kid. These schools have 600-700 kids in them, elementary, middle schools more, high schools more, and the principals seem to know something about every kid, and that takes commitment and dedication and a passion for what you do. And so this is why these results are good. This is why, and everyone wants to do better. And yeah, we may have had 3 or 4 schools that got to be, but most of them were right on the cusp. So we definitely would be excited about that change next year, so a lot of hard work and much appreciated. And that's the Bernie advantage.
Hey, Mr. Senator, do you happen to know what Alma Heights got?
They got an 88. So for the 5th or 6th or 7th year, actually for the 7 years that we've had the system, we've beaten them every year. Now, you'll never see that in the Express News, because the Express News, I think they own the Express. I don't know. I'm not too competitive.
But the Bernie Star that's in the audience would know that now we have 7 A ratings in a row.
7 in a row.
It's super exciting for our students and to be able to watch them, excel. And we know it takes everyone in this entire district. We have the best teachers and it shows. And I even see Miss Nicole here with BEF who's going to speak in a minute. But even our foundation, like sometimes it's that little innovative thing that like turns that light bulb on for that student. So it really does take a village, and everyone's involved with these scores, and we're just so proud and thank you.
I want to say, though, we appreciate this because when we go to legislators and we kind of ask for money, we ask for funding, we try to make a difference in public education. I think accountability is a big thing that Bernie takes that a lot of school districts didn't pack that day. And this gives us an opportunity to go and tell our story and tell the success. And that's nothing to do with anyone up here. That's all you. And we so deeply appreciate that because it helps us tell a much, much better story. And whenever we're speaking to people, it comes across a lot better. And that's not because of anything I did. So thank you for that.
And also throughout the summer traveling, I'd run into other kids at high school and I'm like, okay, where are you going? What was your pathway? And they look at me, what do you mean pathway? What do you mean? Like, our kids know how to answer that question because they had a pathway or a CTE or military. Like, you ask them what their plan is after graduation, they have a plan. They know, I mean, it may be big, it may be small, but they have a plan. Whereas talking to other kids in other districts, they looked at me like I was crazy. Additionally, I also think we do a great job in creating a culture of our CCMRs because like my middle schooler is excited for his, so this is not just our high school principals and staff. So all y'all out there, it starts in our elementary schools.
Absolutely. Starts in kinder.
And that culture just like, they're excited of like, oh, and so like it creates, so when I ask them, what's your pathway or what, even my younger kids know what that means and they're excited like, oh, one day I'm going to be like so-and-so. So it like passes down from the high school kids all the way to our kindergarten kids. So thank you, all grades, all level across the district. It really makes a difference, the culture you create.
Sarah, I'm going to back up what you said about the pathways. This spring I had, the opportunity to run for re-election, and one of my meet and greets, I met about a dozen high school seniors that were 18 and eligible to vote. One of them was your son, Hudson. And they don't want to hear a politician talk with a long speech. So I talked for a couple minutes, but then I started asking them questions. I go, what was the best aspect of your high school career? And they all started talking about pathways. And this one had this pathway, this one had that pathway. And they said it really made them excited about learning and going to school. So that was great to hear. So we have a lot of options. Man, I tell you what, I wish we had that many options when I was in high school a while ago. Yeah.
Can you go back to the TELPAS slide?
Sure. Yes, sir.
A few of those back. For the record, can you tell us what TELPAS is and what types of students take that test and how you pass the test?
Sure. So this test is required for all of our students that are coded as emergent bilingual. So we have approximately 640 in the district. So this test is for students kinder through 12th. And so what the state looks at is the progress rate from year to year in reading, writing, listening, and speaking. So really the progress rate starts from grade 1 on. And so they look at how if the student was with us the year prior, to compare it to. So not all students who tested, there's a comparison score. So the state then gives us just the progress rate for our students that were here on snapshot that were also with us the year prior. So what changed was right after COVID, they had switched to completely online testing for TELPAS. The other thing was, so then they changed the methodology of calculation of progress. They looked just at, if you could do 2 of those domains, reading, writing, listening, or speaking, and make progress, we gave you credit. This year they changed that. They went back to composite rating. So we needed students to make progress in all 4 of those domains. So we anticipated a dip. And of course you can see across the state, it was evident.
So these are kids that, you're testing them, they don't understand English as well as we would like for them to understand or be able to use English as well.
Right. This is a language proficiency exam, very different from STAR. So STAR assesses your TEKS or learning standards, the content, whereas TELPAS assesses language and the acquisition of English.
Okay, and so the kid, when they pass TELPAS, when they pass the test, does that mean that they can basically just learn in English at that point?
So there's not. So the progress rate goes between there's 4 levels: beginner, intermediate, advanced, and advanced high. So what we'd like to see is a composite score. Say a student in the lower grade starts at the beginner level, right? Just came to the country learning the language. We would hope that by the next year they're at least at intermediate. That is considered a progress rate. So it's not really a passing score per se, but it's the percentage of passing, yes, or progressing to the next level. The goal is to get to advanced high, right, to where they eventually, if they do well on TELPAS, they do well on STAR, the content part, then we can look at reclassification, where we remove that coding because they no longer need that support in the classroom for English acquisition. They can survive in a English-rich classroom.
Okay, at the advanced high.
At the advanced high level. They still have to, there's a lot of measures that you have to meet. And next month, when Mrs. Fontecha is here for the bilingual report, she's going to go into all of that.
Okay.
And answer those questions.
Well, and I was asking that because I just want us to be all on the same page here, because I look at this as a data point that, when you're looking at data sets, obviously it's easy to cherry pick stuff and fudge data and things like that. But what I love about this one is that it seems to take demographics out of the equation for the most part, or as much as any of our data could, I think. Because if you look at how we're performing compared to the state in Region 20, we're performing better. In some places, quite a bit better, or at least better. But these are students that are very similar in Bernie ISD, in very similar life situations probably, and places in learning as the state in Region 20. That's not always the case in Bernie ISD. We have different demographics from a lot of the school districts around us, right? So it's hard to judge some of our scores versus others.
Right, so this is only emergent bilingual students.
Only emergent bilingual. So I think, to me, this is a great data set that shows that our educational structure outperforms the rest of the state and the region, even when it's just a completely even playing field. So I think, just not to go on and on, we're obviously doing great, but I think this is a really, really good data point that really shows that our structures and the way that our kids are taking in information, the way our educators are giving it to them is better. It deserves an A rating in that sense. So, anyways, just congratulations, and if Ms. Fontecha's coming next.
Yes, next month she'll have the annual bilingual report. She'll get into TELPAS in greater detail. Yes.
I have a question on this slide real quick.
One second, but to follow up on Garrett's point, we've had a lot of kids that are no longer classified as emerging bilingual. Like, our numbers have gone down the last couple of years. There may be a multitude of reasons for that, but in talking to Triana, maybe this is a question for next month, she's talked about the reclassification of a lot of our students. So what I would infer out of that is your higher performing students who are emerging bilingual are now out of that pool, which makes it even more challenging. Would that be a fair...
And then she will also share data that shows that once they reclassify, how well they're succeeding. They're doing very, very well on the STAR assessments after reclassification. And so that's something that you don't always see, but we're very proud of that. So she'll share that information next month.
I just have a question. Those 3 little elementary girls probably could have taught me this, but if you can help me out, how do we get a district average of a 38?
That is all the campuses together. All the campuses together. So there are different targets for elementary, middle, and high school. So I have them listed there. So for elementary, the target was 40%. Middle school is 30%, and for high school, it was 28%.
Okay, yeah.
That's what they had to meet. So then I took all the...
Was 38, not the achievement?
I'm sorry?
So because I see that, is that the achievement?
So the 38 is the district average of all our campuses together. So I took All of our emergent bilingual students, how many made progress, and it's a 38%.
This is a wonderful presentation. What I think he's getting at is when you do the composite
41.3.
40 plus 44 plus 39, how is it 38 on a district?
No, that, oh, okay, I can see your thinking there. So that is the percentage of students who classified as making progress, who the state said made progress
Okay, but we
in
had
the composite
40%.
score.
We had 40% in elementary.
So I took all the elementaries together, and because their target was a 40, 40% of our elementary students met target.
Okay. So
44% of our middle school students met target, and 39% of our high school students met target.
that weight. All right.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
I know we're looking at a lot of data, but I just want to reiterate on campuses, we know that some years are going to be harder than others, but we believe that a win is that students feel seen, cared for, and supported. An A is amazing, it's great, but also a win is that these students come away feeling supported. So I just want to make sure our principals know, we know there's challenges, there's tough years, there's things that come up, but overarching, our students are winning, and we win when they win. So thank you to our administrators and all of your hard work for everything you're doing.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for your presentation. All right. Next, we would like to welcome Ms. Krista Pomeroy. She's our Chief of Student Support Services, and we'll get to hear about the Student Health Advisory Council Annual Report.
All right. Good evening, Board President, Dr. Kraft, and the fantastic Bernie ISD board members. I'm going to challenge Mr. West. You have to use another adjective to describe them. We've heard great, the best, fantastic, amazing. You got plenty? All right. You're up next.
He's off the hook. He's not speaking tonight.
All right. Thank you for the opportunity to present the annual Student Health Advisory Council Progress Report. The work of the SHAC reflects our district's commitment to supporting the whole child by promoting student health, safety, wellness, and academic success. Tonight, I'm pleased to share highlights of the council's work, accomplishments, and progress toward advancing student wellness across our district. Our focus this evening centers on two key priorities within our district scorecard: student success and family and community engagement. The Student Health Advisory Council is a district-level committee comprised of parents, staff, health professionals, and community members who collaborate to advise the school district on student health and wellness priorities. SHAC supports the development and review of health-related programs and policies, ensuring they are aligned with student needs and state requirements. The council's work focuses on promoting the physical, mental, and social well-being of students in order to support academic success. Under Texas Education Code Section 28.004, the primary duties of the Student Health Advisory Council include reviewing and recommending policies, procedures, curriculum, and instructional strategies for health education that are appropriate for specific grade levels. These recommendations help ensure that health education is aligned with student developmental needs and district priorities. Additionally, under Senate Bill 283, the SHAC is required to report directly to the school board at least once annually, providing a detailed summary of its activities, recommendations, and progress in supporting student health and wellness. SHAC membership is designed to ensure broad community representation and balanced perspectives on student health and wellness. The council includes parents, district staff, health professionals, and community members, with a majority of members being parents who are not district employees, ensuring that family voice remains central. Our SHAC membership continues to grow each year in Bernie ISD, and in September, we will bring forward new appointees for approval for the upcoming school year. Our current members have expressed interest in continuing their service and have even invited others to join. The council must meet at least 4 times per year. These meetings provide structured opportunities for members to review health education curriculum, discuss student wellness initiatives, or develop recommendations for district consideration. Our SHAC oversees the implementation of District Wellness Plan, a comprehensive framework supporting student and staff health and well-being across all campuses. The plan addresses nutrition, physical activity, health education, and the overall school environment while aligning with state requirements and best practices. The council is also responsible for these 10 components of school health. The Coordinated School Health Program is important because it creates comprehensive and integrated approaches to supporting student well-being that goes beyond academics alone. With our wellness plan and the coordinated health components in mind, this year, SHAC focused its work on developing recommendations and guidelines for recess in grades K through 5. Members engaged in research, collaborative learning, and state law, reviewed policy guidance from the Texas Department of Health and Human Services, and developed an understanding of best practices. Through this process, SHAC created activity guidelines underscoring the importance of recess as a way to help students reach academic readiness and goals. Key themes identified included the value of recess as a time for students to recharge and rest, opportunities to build social connections through collaboration and play, and the development of essential life skills such as communication, problem solving, and self-regulation. These recommendations reinforce recess as an essential part of the school day. The council believes that recess is a collective commitment and a shared responsibility among campus adults, including teachers and staff. All staff play an active role in monitoring and supervising students during recess to ensure a safe and supportive environment. When appropriate, adults also engage and participate in student play to strengthen relationships, build trust, and foster meaningful connections. This shared approach helps create a positive recess culture that promotes safety, inclusivity, and belonging for all students. The council has also created district guidelines for recess that are grounded in legally protected rights and aligned with the Texas Education Code 28.002 and Senate Bill 25, which state that recess may not be withheld for disciplinary or academic reasons. These guidelines also emphasize the importance of 30 minutes of physical and unstructured play as a protected and essential part of the school day. Recess expectations in Boerne ISD emphasize the importance of providing consistent, safe, and engaging opportunities for all students. Recess will take place outdoors whenever possible to maximize physical activity and connection with the natural environment. During periods of unsafe weather, campuses will provide structured indoor recess that continues to include movement, active play, and student engagement. Technology and personal devices are not permitted during recess to ensure students remain actively involved in social, physical, and unstructured play experiences. In closing, the council's recommendations strengthen the alignment of health education with our students' developmental needs and district priorities, ensuring a coordinated focus on student wellness across all campuses. This work reflects a strong partnership with teaching and learning, campus leadership, teachers, and staff to thoughtfully integrate 30 minutes of daily recess into the K-5 instructional framework. SHAC remains committed to advancing student health and well-being through intentional, research-based practices that recognize the developmental, social, and emotional value of unstructured play. As one parent on the council shared, every minute of recess is an investment in our child's well-being, helping them grow academically, socially, emotionally, and physically. And that was from member Elke Van Els, a parent at Cibolo Creek. And with that, I'll open it up to any questions.
I'd like to reflect. I got to serve on the SHAC committee, and it was so fun because Ms. Pomeroy would guide us through of like, remember your recess. What do you remember about recess? What did you take? So it was a lot of thinking back to like, you think that one special time or that one story. So it not only engaged us from our own memories, but then tied into like the legislation and then the benefits of recess. So thank you. I thought you did an excellent job.
Thank you.
But yes, it was wonderful to discuss recess, and thank you. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And that was, can you go back a slide?
Yes.
I think it is. The unstructured play is where I was going for. That was the key, one of the key components of unstructured play. Because even in PE, you do get some physical activities. but then structure play that led to your imagination, those organic relationships, those organic friendships. And that was really a key conversational piece with this committee of allowing kids to be kids and work out their problems if they're playing kickball out there or going down the slide of whose turn it is, and the imagination. So it was really heartwarming to see this committee come together. And then also just at the end, we also got to sample all the food.
Oh, that was a part of the shack also, yes.
The chef brought in all the nutritional food, the different recipes that he was going to debut, and like took our feedback, and we got to bring in kids to see what they thought. And there was this, he's not here, but there was this cinnamon roll bacon thing. So good. But it's like enticing them to eat healthy. And so that was something fun
All
too.
interconnected.
Yes. So thank you once again. Great committee.
Sure.
And thank you for highlighting, I didn't realize that recess could not be taken away for academic or behavior responses. So
yes,
thank you for informing us.
That's in board policy, and it's connected to legislative decision making. And they are exploring recess each year. It comes up in different legislative sessions around health and well-being. So we were fortunate to work on this.
Thank you for reiterating that. Anything else?
One quick question. When you look at the makeup of the committee, it's great to hear we want to have continuity there, but you said there's also additional members that are looking to be added and that have been recommended. Is there an ideal number, or is there a maximum or minimum number? What does that look like?
So they don't, SHAC guidelines do not give us a number, a recommended number. What I seek is having that diversity and the voices. So we're not really limited. We do a lot of small group work. So, you know, the group having 25 is not going to limit us in doing our work because we break out into subcommittees. But it's more about finding a representation of the community. So parents, very important, but if we can find physicians, nutritionists, you know, clergy, all just a well-balanced representation, because each year we explore something different. This year we'll be looking a lot about, once again, revisiting technology and the use of technology in classrooms and the impact on our students.
Great. Yeah. Love it.
Thank you, Ms. Pomeroy. Appreciate your time and your efforts. Next, we move into partnerships. We're so thankful for BEF, and we see Mr. Josh Peterson in the audience tonight, and also Ms. Nicole Gallegos. So want to embarrass Josh. He was part of the 2002 state semifinalist soccer team. He's here, celebrity. He is a member of the BISD Hall of Honor as well. So we're honored to have him and Nicole with us tonight, but we would like to hear from Nicole Gallegos. She has served on the board for 7 years, and she is moving into her 4th year of being a president. Am I correct?
You are.
We are so thankful for you, and we can't wait to hear from you.
They keep voting me in.
I don't blame them. Doing a great job.
Here we are. All right. Who's switching slides for me? Is it me? Oh, here it is. Okay, great. All right. Well, we were supposed to present this in May, and then June, and now August. So thank you for allowing us to be here for this year. So we are in, actually, as of the end of last year, we were in our 29th year. This is the beginning of our 30th year. So we are super excited for this year. It is a great thing to have. We were established in 1997, so this is our 30th year. And we will proudly continue to serve our mission to support every student, every teacher, and every campus in the BISD. And we talked about being established. We are fueled by deep commitment to educational excellence and a strong belief in the power of community. We have a board of 25, and we'll talk about that in a moment. And last year was our first year of being able to have a legacy board member, where the board member's mom was one of our board members early on. So Trace isn't here, but we will give accolades to Trace's mom. So our mission is to provide opportunities for excellence in education, promote innovation in teaching, and partner with the community to enhance the quality of education in collaboration and alignment with BISD. A lot of what we do with regards to every child, integrity, and supporting all the things that BISD does for the purpose of our students and our community is aligned with BEF. So how do we help the community? We help the community, and how do we fund? We help in three main groupings. Teacher Innovation Grants, otherwise known as TIGs. Every time we have our initial meetings, we start saying TIGs, and you always have a hand raise and go, what is a TIG? It is a Teacher Innovation Grant. TIGs are funded to transform the classroom, time. I might need my readers, and I didn't bring them, so we're going to adjust. Funded to transform classroom experiences in order to develop future leaders through critical thinking, communication, collaboration, and creativity, basically the 4 C's. Some of our past TIG grants have included a DNA lab, microscopes, ecosystems, digital cameras, robotics, collaboration stations, art exhibits, geomats, and climbing walls for physical fitness. Math and hands-on science projects. In our 25th year, we funded a very large physics program, and that was 4.5 years ago, and so we really do, it's not really all about STEM, but we have funded some really great STEM things and some art things and physical fitness, and we really look after our TIGs, or our Teacher Innovation Grants. The second bucket is our fall campus disbursements, and these go directly to the school district. They go through to Bernie ISD, and based on their per capita, and they're funded per capita based on the enrollment. Sorry, I'm getting a little feedback. Based on the enrollment of that school, and we fund a specific number, a dollar amount at that year. We're yet to establish that dollar amount for this year, but we will do the same this year as well. And then, of course, classroom kickoff cards, which we announced at Convocation on August the 7th, and we offer we give and donate the $75 per teacher to the teacher for their classroom kickoff cards, and that was established at the beginning of this year and Convocation. Okay. Our impact. Over the years, originally we were created to support the funding gap of Robin Hood. We know now from a Robin Hood perspective, we have had years of Robin Hood and years of not, but we know traditionally we have always had a little bit of a gap, and now even with the funding formula today, we have approved a budget, we being the board and the district have had to approve a budget that is at a deficit. So we try to help that, whether it be Robin Hood or whether it be a deficit. So our mission is to support and promote excellence in education, and we to date have raised almost $9.5 million for our district in the past 29.5 years. So that's been fun to watch that number tick up. Next year it'll be probably 10 million, so hopefully more, but that's our goal. This year we have, and again, I'm speaking of last year from the 25 to 26 year, given that we were supposed to give this back in May, we've had 25 board members. We raised $417,000, almost $418,000. We awarded $196,000 in teacher innovation grants, and we gifted over $875 gift cards. So programs and initiatives, again, this just really just outlays our 3 funding buckets, similar to what we spoke about before, but this is a nice visual. We fund on average about $400,000 to $500,000 a year, depending on the fundraising for that year. And you can see here in the pie chart how that breaks up in those 3 buckets. So about $60,000 in teacher gift cards, $152,000 almost in campus disbursements, and then about $200,000 in teacher innovation grants. That's a little bit of a discrepancy from the previous slide, and I think, Josh, you can confirm we did give $200,000 last year in TIGs. So we gave $200,000 in TIGs last year, which is this particular number, and this year that is our goal as well, is to also give about $200,000 in TIGs.
Nicole, if I could just interject, this is net after expenses.
This is net after expenses, that's correct.
I remember when I first got on the board, even 4 or 5 years into that, the annual fundraising might have been $200 to $250. So this is a substantial increase in effectiveness over the past, 6, 7, 8 years.
I would say so. In the 4 years I've been president, I've been on the board. This is my 8th year, going in as my 4th year. We've raised about $400,000 to $500,000. Of course, bond years are always more, but this year, but in general, it's about this. But you are correct. 6 or 7 years ago, probably would have been 20% less. I would agree. But yes, you're correct. This is net. So these are what we give based off of fundraising after expenses. Okay. So our events and our impact. So we have 3 main events, and then two additional buckets of donations. So we have our Birdies for Bernie that's coming up in September. Last year, this net proceeds was a little north of $20,000. We had Purse Mania, which did amazing. Last year, this is in December this year, December the 3rd. It will be, last year we raised $103,000 net. Rock On was March 28th. This year it will be March 20th of 2027. We raised $245,000. And employee giving, we give the opportunity for employees of the district to give $5 or $10 per paycheck. And this last year raised about $20,500. And then of course we've had other general donations that have come in. And last year that was a little north of $28,000, almost $29,000. So our strategic goals for this year, first and foremost, to honor and celebrate our 30th anniversary for every student, every teacher, and every campus. Increase our long-term fiscal efficiency. We're looking at ways where we can build in things that we reuse on an annual basis and not have to cost out annually. So maybe that means a one-time purchase, say, again, this sounds so silly, but it is a cost of tablecloths and napkins and things that we use at events. So if we purchase them one time, we don't have to rent them year after year. So again, this is a simple way of being able to increase our long-term fiscal efficiency by minimizing our expenses and actually retaining some things that are meaningful to us that we use annually. Strengthen, this is probably the most important, is strengthening our engagement through storytelling and deepening connections. We really want everybody to know in Bernie who is BEF. In our mind, we know who we are, and we think everybody should know who we are. So when we're speaking about Bernie Education Foundation and what we do for the community and what we do for the district, it is disheartening is the wrong word, but we really want, when somebody's like, oh, I don't know what BEF is. It's like, oh, well, let me tell you about who and what BEF does. And we want everybody to know that so everybody can feel connected, not just the person that buys the $250 gala ticket or donates the $5,000 table. We really want everybody to be able to feel a part of BEF. This was a lot of what started Giving Day 5 or 6 years ago during COVID, and we want to continue that. And then we, of course, want to leverage data-driven fundraising and how we can benefit that and our benefit and increase the fundraising over the years as well. Okay. Our 2026-27 executive committee is made up of 7 individuals, including myself, Daniel Scott. Yay, we have a president-elect. So that means next year she gets to be president. I will not take a 5th term, but I will be a past president next year. Dr. Wendy McCurley is our vice president of development. Josh is our vice president of disbursement. He's here in the room with us. Christy Waterman is our vice president of marketing. Trace Klein, vice president of finance. Stephanie Hankins is our vice president, executive vice president, and Dr. Michelle Holcomb is our secretary. And of course, our executive director is Yvette Reyna, who we share with the district and has been a phenomenal asset to us and the district as a whole. So we are very thankful for all of these committee members and of course, Yvette. Then we have 18 others if I take out the 7 of our board of directors. We have a board of 25. Our board, we are very committed to having a diverse board across various schools, across various talents, if you will. So you will see that the other 17 members here. And then, of course, our ex facto members, Sarah Falconberry, who is our liaison between the BISD board, and she used to be a former board member, as well as Dr. Kraft. So thank you. And then last year we had 6 board members roll off, and just want to say thank you to those outstanding board members: Kim Young, Colby Tate, Jen Wildey, Fernanda Bailly, Laura Serp, and Jim Jeffrey. Their time was truly a pleasure, and in fact, a few of them will come back and volunteer, even though they are not board members. So that just really does go back to speak to the connections to of the board to the community and the district. So we are thankful for their time and their effort. Okay, thank you. Any questions, comments? Thank you, Rich, for your comment earlier.
Well done. Did a great job. I know it takes a lot of work. I was on the board before.
You were.
But you've continued to carry the torch. And so to your team that's here tonight, Josh, Yvette, and you, really appreciate. Please give your team our gratitude for what y'all do for the district. Does anybody else have anything else?
Yeah, just thank you for all the efforts. It really does make a big difference because a lot of teachers get these T grants, and every little bit that goes to the schools helps. And I really enjoyed the Rock On this year. I mean, I realize it wasn't in Kendall County or in Bernie, but you know, it beats being in a dusty place with no AC. It was really good.
Yeah, well, I'll speak to that. Now, as much as we would love to have it in Kendall County and Bernie ISD, we would love that. But there's just no place large enough that has that ability to facilitate us outside of the equestrian event or the equestrian center. So we did go to an education facility. And we have a partnership with UTSA, so it was a good collaboration, and we will hope to continue that collaboration. And when and if something does get built here within Kendall County, within BISD, we will never say no. So, but thank you, and I thank you, Christy, for the shout out earlier, and for, we really are committed to literally every student, every teacher, and every campus here. And we're just so honored to be able to work with you hand in hand, although independently, but still hand in hand. So thank you.
Thank you for your partnership. We appreciate it. All right. This leads us to future business items. Our upcoming meeting is September 21st, 2026. Strategic plan goals 1 and 2 will be discussed, along with adopting legislative priorities that Sarah and Rich are working so hard on. The EB bilingual report, annual investment policy review, resolution for investment officers, and investment broker dealer resolution. We have a lot of great topics to cover in September. So at this time, I propose adjournment.
Second.
All right, we have a motion by Rich. We have a second by Garrett Wilson. So all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign.